Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, I ain't live yet. Welcome back, welcome back. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me see how this stream y'all gonna do. Don't look like it's doing too much of nothing. I reviewed it. Yeah, it's messing up. It's messing up. So hopefully it'll be okay. But this video, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate my new subscribers. We touch on different topics here. We hit everything, not just celebrity news, but what's going on. But this particular video is about the end of the news. As Trump would say, the fake news, the legacy media. And that's because they don't tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Tell the people the truth. Americans have record low trust in the media. They're reading traditional news less. Platforms too have broken up with news organizations, make it harder for them to attract readers to their stories because they full of lies. Just tell the truth. Many 20th century media companies are outmoded in a landscape where independent sites, influencers, and podcasters are finding large, passionate audience. Look at Joe Rogan. He had millions, Tucker Carlson, millions of followers, and they tell the truth. And many other platforms, you know, especially among adults under 30. And that's a fact. Under 30, they ain't watching no ABC, NBC, CSB. They not watching that. Surveying this landscape recently, my colleague Helen Lewis wrote unsparingly, the mainstream media has already lost. And it didn't help Trump when Trump started saying fake news, all the ratings dropped once he started saying that. We're living through a period of deep distrust in institutions which many Americans feel no longer serve their interests. There's a palpable anger and skepticism toward corporate media, and many have turned to smaller publications or individual creators whom they feel they can trust, even if these groups are not bound to the rigor and standards of traditional outlets. American people reject ABC, NBC, MSNBC. The ratings are so low. And that's just a fact. And that's what this video is about. So now let's hit some now the view. Oh, the view, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney. Oh shoot, let me turn this off. Before I go back out to work. But Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, he told The View that if they keep going on attacking Trump, that this show is canceled because he got too many complaints from the FCC to cancel The View. And that and so you should start seeing a shift in how they portray, when they talk about Trump, anything else, because they on the verge of getting canceled. Okay, so we're gonna just take a look at the view real quick.
This was the biggest middle finger he could give the entire country. We know that this administration is a vengeful one. We know this is a vengeful man. You have no morals. He can't even stand in 20-degree weather. Biden holds himself on this certain moral high ground, and he's setting a very dangerous precedent against a very dangerous man. Has something happened?
This is Brandon Lehman. I like him.
and Donald Trump saying things that this country would be a meritocracy, you're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit. He hasn't had he had no political experience whatsoever. He had no business experience. He was given everything that he has. He is a
that is not
hire.
true.
He is, if
See,
anything, a DEI hire.
That right there is not true. He was given $1 million at 18, but his parents had. That is not true. He did. He is not a DEI hire. He did earn it. He graduated from Wharton, one of the best business schools in the country, and so did his children. Private school.
First off, does she really think they were going to reschedule the inauguration because Sonny Hostin was mad about it? Second
Right.
off, Sonny doesn't even realize she holds this really racist view that in 2025, black people are still bootless.
Right.
Maybe they were considered that 100 years ago. Martin Luther King fought for black people to have an opportunity, to have a chance. And he won, and he succeeded. And all this time has passed, and if Sonny Hostin still believes that black people are somehow hopeless and can't do it if they try, says more about how she thinks of black people than the actual reality. And third off, how is she going to say that Trump didn't earn it? That's just supreme hating right there. That would be like if I said LeBron James isn't a good basketball player. I may not like the guy, but there's undeniable proof that he's a great basketball player. Donald Trump inherited a small New York portfolio. And when I say small, I mean $70 to $100 million. That's small for New York. And turned the Trump name and Trump portfolio into a multi-billion-dollar brand. He broke into media, became a cultural star. His last name sounded himself, and then parlayed that into a presidential run.
Facts.
And her daughter, Shay Moss, for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers. You dishonor those people when you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor black people.
And that's not true either.
Even though I didn't watch any of the balls or anything, I think what Keith said is so important for us to remember that this is who Donald Trump is.
These are the shame tactics that over the Democrats in the election, but they're also the same shame tactics that black Democrats use to shame any black person who doesn't want to fall in line with the party. They will try to paint you as some sort of race traitor, Uncle Tom, against your own people. Anytime a black person...
Facts, because I'm a Donald Trump supporter. Facts. However, hey, Money Loke, how you doing? I'm a Donald Trump supporter. Yes, I am. Now, he done pissed me off bringing them them Afrikaners here. Now that done pissed me off. All of them. Now I'm pissed off about the white racist people that you don't. They don't have, not native to South Africa, and the only reason the Zulu nation got land over in South Africa, Shaka Zulu kicked their ass, and that's how the Zulu nation got land over there. But they stole and took. So now that's the one thing. Now he done pissed me off about that. Now what y'all going? They farmers, so what you just gonna give them some of this farmland that you took from the farmers, black and white farmers, and they gonna farm that? Now I'm trying to figure this out. Now that right there did piss me off. One thing I do disagree with him on. But get these goddamn migrants out of here. Get them out. Facts. Anybody walk across the jungle need to go home. But anyway, getting back to this topic.
Stands up and says, I can achieve greatness on my own. I don't need any racist permission to be successful. I will not cause of hardship or challenges. This is the greatest country on earth, and I have the opportunity to make something big out of myself, and I'm going to do it. They always demonize that person. They want them to have a collective victim mindset, where they lock themselves in a cage and never even allow themselves to flourish. And that mindset is being forced upon them by the Democrat Party. Why?
None of those above.
She's right. The era of this Trump deranged hypocrisy is over. And we're going to get into that in a second when I show you the view reacting to Trump pardoning the January 6thers. But this whole strategy of Trump bad, Trump scary, Trump racist clearly isn't working, so you might as well hang it up. At this point, it's so obvious to everybody that the Democrats have no respect for the rule of law, the Constitution, the norm.
They so pitiful. And it's a shame that how they covered up Biden's decrepitude behind. Everybody seen that he had dementia because my grandma had dementia. Everybody seen someone, and then to come out talking about the man got prostate cancer, stage 4. He been had that, and y'all knew it, and you covered it up. Y'all is some pitiful, shameful. I have no feelings for the Democrat at all.
Family, but anyone else who challenged Trump, you better swim or you're drowning. That's my most charitable interpretation. And finally, he didn't do anything to protect people who testified against Donald Trump unless they happen to be wrapped up with the police officers. And it sets a very dangerous precedent. Now Donald Trump can basically advise staff and his family to do anything unlawful and then just issue a blanket pardon when he leaves office. I think it was disgraceful, and it's going to harm his life.
I think comparing Biden's pardons to Trump is like comparing apples to Volkswagens.
Well, I have to disagree with that. Number one, Biden don't even know who he pardoned. They used the auto pen, and they got the people now, and they said they're going to do arrest. I don't know. We got to watch and see who actually used the auto pen to do these. He pardoned the. Ain't nobody ever went back like his son went back 14 years to pardon. You pardoned Liz Cheney and all these other people. You went back who ain't even been charged with nothing. This is unprecedented. So yeah, we about to see some arrests coming. You pardoned Fauci, who killed millions of people. Oh, okay. I ain't gonna say that. Who unalived millions of people with that whatchamacallit. I'm just saying.
Because Joe Biden's family pardoned the January 6th, have not actually committed. He is trying to prevent them from spending their lives fighting the government, which is no easy feat.
Anna Navarro saying, no, Biden's pardons were better because everybody was innocent, is the exact opposite way that 99% of people feel about this. That is why we're mad about it, because they were innocent. They hadn't been convicted of any crime. You blanket pardoning people who were not even in the spotlight shows that you were up to some shit.
That's what I just said. And the fact that a couple of those people, the black woman and the white woman who was elderly, they was just there praying. And they got pulled into this mess on January 6th. Damn, okay, good. That's all. Then I said January. Okay, let me go now. Let me just make sure I'm not skipping nothing because I want to make sure that I got everything because I don't want to come back to nothing. I'm tired of coming back. Okay. I just went through this, so I should be straight. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You've heard us say it before. We're going to say it again. The dinosaur going extinct. Legacy media stinks and is in major trouble. This time it's CNN, not MSNBC, not Disney, but CNN. And they cannot find a win because they are restructuring, and that means layoffs, burying the bad news under other headlines. But folks, this time they cannot hide, for we will tell you what's really going on at a desperate CNN.
This is WBE Pro.
Maybe they should call it CNN Plus. It's early days, but we've already established that there's immense demand for it, not just in America, but across much of the world. This reminds me of Bob Iger realizing that video games are popular. Hey, CNN, streaming, it's a thing. So that's where we are right now. This is a lot of This is a lot of veneer put onto a very bad situation at CNN. They are hemorrhaging viewers. Their revenues are dropping.
That
The lawsuit that they just lost that we talked about revealed that they have lost massive advertising dollars over the past few years. And now they're restructuring, cutting, losing jobs. People are going home, slip, and that's all. And a panel, it's yet another sign that the legacy dinosaur media is truly going extinct.
facts.
I don't know how CNN is going to handle this transformation over into streaming, but I got to say, everything they're going through right now is demeaning to the brand and what they want. CNN was the voice in news. No longer. They are losing every single day to the new media. Panel,
Facts.
say you.
Nobody trusts them. Nobody trusts them because they don't. All they have to do is just tell the truth. If they start telling the truth, whether you like it or not, and stop being. If you're a journalist, you're not supposed to be biased. You can have your own opinion, but you're not supposed to be biased. Just tell the truth. Oh, they helping traffic children. Oh, I need to make sure I got this. What date is that? Oh, let me see what date is that. Oh, because when I go back to my January 20th. Okay. Okay. Hey, my paper's flying because I had to turn the heat on. Here we go.
And climbing over walls and
Well,
so
that's
on.
true.
But
They weren't actors.
they're not going to be doing
They
that.
weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN. And if you did it well, your ratings will be much better.
Nothing beats a President Trump press conference.
I'm telling you, let me go back because
Well, that's true.
Is also reportedly getting booted to a midnight shift from his 10 a.m. show.
Your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and
Well,
so
that's
on.
true. But they weren't actors.
They're not doing
They
that.
weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings will be much
oh, Trump know how to get you.
Trump press conference. All right. And with that, reports are circling that CNN's CEO Mark Thompson urged his on-air talent to not express outrage during the coverage of the president's inauguration. Joe, we're going to start with you because I know you're a huge fan of Jim Acosta.
Biggest ever.
Close personal friend.
Yeah. We
Watch him
went
all the
bowling last
time.
night. Yeah.
So, tell us, what is his future? What's in his future, and what does that mean for CNN?
His future is either working midnights, right, which is quite the turn from 10 a.m., or he's going to quit the network altogether. This guy has been a journalist. I'm sorry, not a journalist. I meant that sarcastically. An activist from day one, right? He is like this cheesy actor that you see on Skinamax around 3 a.m. It's all performance art. We saw it before. I'm sorry, I meant
Joe, I know you got a lot of TVs at your house.
Yeah, well, I do. I showed you before. Here's the bottom line.
Keep it PG, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. I meant Cinemax.
It's only 6 p.m.
It's a Sunday night.
Oh, what's that?
All right, this thing's off the rails completely. Here's the line. CNN needs to make some big changes, right? Jim Acosta was a White House correspondent, as we saw there during Donald Trump Part 1. And then the minute he left office, curiously, he ran out of that White House briefing room like that was Barkley. In other words, like, I can't ask a Democratic administration the kind of questions I asked a Republican administration.
Right.
CNN is averaging 300,000 viewers in prime time. Let me put that in perspective. Whoa. Toledo, Ohio has a bigger population than 300,000, yet they're in 90 million homes. Changes have to be made, and it starts midnight or gone.
300,000 out of 396 million people.
It's at home because Joe's my friend. He's not a big Jim Acosta fan, just for absolute clarity. You know, Brian, there was an anonymous TV exec that was quoted before the election saying that if Trump were to win, it would be the mainstream media. Well, he won, so is the mainstream media dead.
Well, I
Yes.
think this is their moment of
Yes.
choosing, right? How do they want to approach things? I mean, the CBS thing is interesting to me. I don't know the law on this, but they did a bad thing when they took an answer from Kamala Harris that would have been leading for the American public, and they spiffed it up to look like
Facts.
they knew what she was talking about. I just think that's bad business.
And Trump filed a $1 billion lawsuit and won.
CNN will lay off about 6% of its workforce as the cable news network shifts its strategy toward streaming services. That's according to an internal memo from CEO Mark Thompson, seen by Reuters on Thursday. Thompson told employees it was, quote, a simple one, to shift CNN's gravity towards the platforms and products where the audience themselves are shifting. And that means away from legacy TV and towards digital products. To that end, Thompson said CNN has started development on a new streaming service for programming similar to cable channel. He also laid out plans for a new lifestyle-oriented online product this year, which would add at least 100 new jobs. Digital Push is being financed by a $70 million investment from parent company Warner Brothers Discovery. The moves come after CNN in October launched a paywall on its website.
And ain't nobody gonna watch that either. CNN, I used to love CNN, but I don't watch TV anymore. YouTube my TV. But I ain't watching 3 years. Because YouTube got everything. But yeah, ain't nobody gonna watch that either. Just tell the truth. That's the problem. Tell the truth.
Welcome back to a breaking news edition of Cord Cutting today. NBC News and CNN are reporting about the cut hundreds of employees between the two companies. We got the full details of what's happening here and some more information about why it's happening. First of all, if you want to learn more about these stories, I will put a link to each one in the show notes and in the videos. But their main focus was on CNN laying off hundreds of employees this year. And then they kind of slipped in there a little bit. And NBC News, which is their parent company's news organization, will also be laying off employees this week. Now, CNN is being hit with hundreds of employees. NBC News, it sounds like 50 or less. It's still a significant number in a newsroom and organization. According to the report, CNN will heavily cut staff behind the scenes. Now, doesn't mean you won't see some reshuffling. There's been talk of, for example, Wolf Blitzer moving from evenings to mornings and other lineup changes with this. But apparently, most of these cuts at CNN will be behind the scenes as they make the cuts to try to lower costs. They also
because don't nobody watch them. They pitiful. Let me see. What is this one? I think that's my man. Oh, that's Cat. We ain't talking about Cat. Hold on, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. Is this it? Let me see, y'all. Oh, that's Massachusetts. Oh, here we go. This is when Jim called. I think he awful.
It is never a good time to bow down to a tyrant. I've always believed it's the job of the press to hold power to account. I've always tried to do that here at CNN. I will not give in to the lies. I will not give in to the fear. I'll have more to say about my upcoming days, but until then, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It has been an honor.
In this video today, CNN host Jim Acosta live on air.
He quit live on air. And listen, and when he quit
policy, but when you're so hateful,
and when he quit after Trump tore his butt up, say that's why your Negro hat was nobody from Jim. Not a word. Don't. I know I don't miss them. I never liked them. Oh, over here. I thought he was terrible. But all they got to do is, because nobody bought y'all, all you got to do is tell the truth. I don't understand what's so hard about it. But we going to finish this on up till I get out. I'm about to go back to work. I need to make some money. Man, you talking about being broke. My funds is toe up. Oh, you remember this? Oh, when he quit, man, my funds so sure. I got to go back. I went on at 5 this morning, and I'm going back out. Then I got to go. My friend daughter graduated from law school. I got to go there, and I got to get a video in. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go with this one.
ABC, meanwhile, might want to think about all this. They might want to think about a show like The View. They might want to think about a host like Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny House, and a few others there that they have on the air because David Muir, another one, because you know what? Trust is way, 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 way down at these places. And Brendan Carr knows it. And Brendan Carr is actually using this. He's the head of the FCC under Donald Trump to actually go back at these networks. So ABC thought, oh, we're out of the woods. You don't have to worry because we did that 16 million settlement and now we're in better shape. Well, no. What did Brendan?
Right, Trump with they lawsuit too against CBS and ABC, 16 million, and George Stephanopoulos had to apologize and pay his own 1 million.
He fired off a letter saying, guess what? This is actually proof of your bias. And now we have all these complaints from all these people saying that, you know, they're not really feeling this trust, if you will, in their networks anymore. So maybe we got affiliate deals with ABC. You see, they have to go through Car in order to get on all those affiliations with all those small channels all over the country. So that's the other thing that's at risk, right? It's complaints you see. Lots and lots of complaints. People saying, hey, you know, these networks are just too partial to Kamala Harris. And we feel like this is state media for Kamala Harris. We're not really seeing any kind of equality here, let alone think you remember what happened. They booked Kamala in a last-ditch effort to help her right before to Saturday Night Live. That became a big issue. I'm telling you, they are in trouble. And they just don't seem quite get it. Whoopi Goldberg, who spits on the set when she says the president of the United States' name. How's that for patriotism for you? Here she is going on about, you know, we're just the greatest. If it weren't for what we have done and all the sort of agendas we have pushed, then where would the world be?
Yeah, I was a young lady who's this is her job. I'd like her to do a little homework because she said something yesterday.
Oh, sorry about that.
I want to reference something. She's talking here about Caroline Levitt.
Here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Yeah. Because women were not invited to that table. Mm-hmm. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our minds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about wokeness, the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
It's bullshit.
People couldn't get into because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is not women. See, this is not Black, Asian, this is all women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world to make sure that this was his person.
I used to really like Whoopi Goldberg, especially when she came out as La Tang. And she talked about how when 9/11 happened and how when she woke up, because La Fontaine was a dope fiend that she played. And this before she made it. And she talked about when she woke up, we was in Iraq. How did that happen? She was real. Now she has sold out. She has sold out. I can't stand it.
Please stop using that phrase and talk about because you don't understand what you're saying. You're saying about yourself that, hey, that's a terrible thing to be. It's not a terrible thing to be. That's why we That's what we were fighting for, so that you could stand in that podium, so that Catherine Jean-Pierre could stand at the podium. So women of all kinds of colors and ilks, wherever they came from, whatever their belief system was, they had the opportunity to bust down that door.
By the way, I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous administration.
So that's all I got to say about The View. As earlier, The View is in the process of being canceled. Here we go.
Disney's crazy ladies of The View have some ratings. Why? Because Fox News has defeated them in ratings for the first time ever. Yes, a cable channel managing to beat out a network that has full penetration in every hole in the nation. Today, we'll tell you what's destroying The View and what Disney could do about it.
This president wants the look of a criminal migrant to look like, what an undocumented migrant. And I think that's racist.
I don't. Shoot, we ain't got no money to keep taking care of people.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program.
They treat these better than they do American-born citizens. F them. That's how I feel. We need the same type of treatment. You walked across the jungle where you think you supposed to get welfare, Social Security, housing. No, you figure it out. Just like if we went to any other country and had to do and stay there, and we would have to figure it out. We wouldn't get any assistance. Now, if you can't figure it out and still don't know how to speak English, and learning to speak English.
We as ever endeavor to explain entertainment, and we keep you ahead of that culture third, 4 times a day, because
Hold on, let me get off.
View. Oh, things are high drama over there with Disney, aren't they?
To answer your question, which is this the immigration that this country wanted? I think absolutely there are certain people that wanted to see this kind of pain and destruction for a certain group or type of immigrant.
Yes, criminals.
Right.
Violent, heinous criminals.
Because if you look at the numbers, yes, the number of immigrants that come or Mexican born are the largest. But the next largest are Asians. 28% of them come. I don't think they walk across the southern border.
Some of them do. Some of them are very
right, but most of them come legally. They pay and go through the classes to know the laws. They don't just come and then bring their whole culture. That sex trafficking and all that messing with the children, that is okay in your country. It's not okay here. It's not.
Dangerous. Some of them have been associated with the CCP, Sonny.
I think they come by plane. The next largest are Europeans. I don't think they walk either. I'm just saying immigrants.
No, they don't walk. They have paid to come here. I can't stand Sonny Austin. I cannot stand her. I think for her to be an attorney, I think she's the dumbest ever. Hold on, y'all. Here we go. Now they forced to tell us.
Mainstream media does not want
This is reacts. I like
you see protests in response to Donald Trump's effort into thinking about that illegal union.
In labor. I obviously don't think that's what you're implying. Only 1% of alien workers in the entire country work in agriculture. The top destination for illegal aliens are large cities like New York, Los Angeles, and
Facts.
small industrial towns, of course, all across the heartland, as we've seen with the Biden floods. None of those illegal aliens are doing farm work. Those 30,000 illegal aliens that Joe Biden dumped into Springfield.
I'm talking ones that are.
But I'm to understand.
Now you're kind of changing stuff there. I mean, I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no,
the
no.
one.
No, he's not. You're just salty because he called you out.
Right.
You just salty. As soon as he said, I know you're not over here trying to take up for illegal labor. I know you're not. And he's over there like, I mean, just look at his shoulders one more time, y'all. Just look at his shoulders when he say that, and I'm gonna shut up.
Is in groceries.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's not your position, Jake. You're just asking the question that we should supply America's food with exploitative illegal alien labor. I obviously don't think that's what you're implying. Only 1% of alien workers in the entire country work in agriculture.
So his ass up.
The destination for illegal aliens are large cities like New York, like Los Angeles, and small industrial towns, of course, all across the heartland, as we've seen with the Biden floods. None of those illegal aliens are doing farm work. Those 30,000 illegal aliens that Joe Biden dumped into Springfield.
I'm talking about the ones that are.
But I'm explaining this. It's important to understand.
Now you're kind of changing stuff there. I mean, I'm
No.
talking about the ones.
I will give you 30 minutes. I'll go as deep as you want to.
We don't have
you and your audience.
I don't have a third. I'm talking about the ones that work in the agriculture industry.
I'm
You can
explaining
come back
to you
and
and
we
your
can talk
audience.
about the ones in the cities. I swear.
I'll do that. I'll do the whole answer. The illegal aliens that Joe Biden brought into our country are not full stop doing farm work. They are not. The illegal aliens he brought in from Venezuela, from Haiti, from Nicaragua, they are not doing farm work. They're in our cities collecting welfare. As
Facts.
farmers,
Facts. And that's why I'm pissed off.
President Trump supports. Over time as well, you will transition into automation, so we'll never have to have this conversation ever again. But there's no universe in which this nation is going to allow the previous president to flood our nation with millions and millions of illegal aliens who just get to stay here. And we are especially not going to allow a subset of those illegal aliens to rape and murder our citizens.
Facts.
We are going to unapologetically enforce our immigration laws, and as I'm sure you will celebrate, we are going to unleash the power and might of the U.S. government to eradicate the presence of transnational threats.
Facts. Facts.
Oh my God.
Get them out of here.
Beautiful. I mean, a masterclass. This Democrat sitting here trying to make it seem like
shit, we ain't got no money to take care of them, and they ain't taking care of us. I think I'm gonna keep that. Okay, let me see how many more I can do before I get out of here. I gotta get dressed. Let me see. What date am I on? Danye, you still up? You still up? I'm about to go. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, shit. Shit. Oh, fuck. I just messed up. Oh, my God. I just messed up. The one I'm about to go. Damn. Always do that. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, I'm trying to get through as much as I can because I ain't want to do a part 2, but it's going to be a part 2. I be having so much to prove my point. Let me see if he going to go out with me. This 2 a day. Man, I shouldn't have to work this hard. I really shouldn't. But I enjoy doing YouTube. I do. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if my son gonna get up and go because I had him. We've been up since 5 a.m. We completed that right, I think, at 9. And I'm off from my real job to Wednesday. So I'm gonna be doing Amazon. I'm about to do this other route. Then I gotta go to a graduation party. Damn. Hold on, let me see if he. Danye, you still up? Well, you want to go back out? I'm about to get dressed in about 10 minutes. 1:45. You want to just ride and go to sleep? You can just sleep in the car, and I'll do it. You can just sleep in the car. Oh, I forgot. What time is your job? You put on your alarm. I guess I gotta go by myself. I hate going by myself because that means I gotta lift them packages myself instead of making him do it and paying him some money. And I cannot believe I lost this stuff. I cannot believe that. You said you remember this money law. Hopefully I don't get nothing. Cause one thing about Amazon, like if you show up and and they don't have nothing, you still get paid. That's why I like doing it. I used to have the evenings down packed where I go. One time I got paid 5 days in a row without going out, and I had it down packed. But now they done tripped up the game. They done figured the shit out because it ain't no way I ain't figured out the evening yet. I might as well just maybe I better just end this here now. I'm gonna have to start over part 2. Damn, I get so sick of that. I still gotta figure out. I should have did that other video. It's a Boogaloosa mayor, young man. They elected the young. He was a pimp and a drug dealer down there. And they just arrested him in Mississippi. A young, nice looking man, honey. They done arrested him for pimping, human trafficking, and drug dealing. You can't make this up. I gotta talk about the Boogaloosa mayor. I would like to talk about that with Money Low. It's the funniest shit I have ever heard. I'm gonna do that one. That's the one I probably should have did. Let me see how much. And then I gotta come back. I ain't gonna stay long to that party at all. I'm just gonna show my face, but I gotta put on something really nice. Shouldn't have all this shit in this phone. I lost them. Lord, please. Oh, God. Okay, here we are. This is where I left off at. Okay. All right, this is where I left off at. Thank you, God. I finally got there. Oh, I said I wanted to keep that. Okay, I'm past this. I'm past all this. Past this. I gotta go buy some batteries. My friend keep telling me I'm gonna get some batteries, but I don't even know how to open up the damn things. I tried and could not open them up. Okay, I'm trying. I'm almost there. Damn, I went back too far. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Despite topping their quarterly profit estimates, they lost Disney Plus subscribers. So they beat earnings estimates, but not with the products that really should be for their future, right? Streaming. Because that's kind of where it's at. And that's where they were putting all their investment. And yet everybody's leaving. They lost 700,000 subs in Q1 2025.
Wow.
That's kind of a lot.
700,000 subs.
What's going on over at Disney? Well, Bob Iger, the CEO, who Elon Musk has no use for, because don't forget, Bob Iger was the first to pull the money off of X, previously known as Twitter. Once Elon bought it, the State Department could no longer be in there controlling it. And so Disney pulled all their advertising money out in an attempt to ruin the company and then encouraged other companies to do the exact same thing. Well, Bob Iger was asked about his linear networks, and I took some of the transcript for you here, and let's just read from it. He said, I'd like to say something about our linear networks. We are actually at a point where the linear networks in our company are not a burden at all. Really. I guess it's because he just wants you to know he's going to deal with Whoopi. He really doesn't care that nobody likes The View. It's not a burden. Forget about the FCC and Brendan Carr and Donald Trump breathing down our necks. They're actually an asset, he said. We are programming them, and we are funding them at levels. This is a bunch of BS. That actually gives the ability to enhance our overall television business that obviously includes and leans into streaming, which, let's face it, is really the future of the television business. Okay, there you go. Let's face it, it's really the future of the television business. So he's saying, okay.
They doing so bad, Disney lost 1 million subscribers. 700,000 went boom. Don't nobody watch it because they don't tell. All you have to do is change your format and tell the truth. Whether you like the man or not, just tell the truth. We go here.
Georgie Pie reported out on ABC News. We're going to get into all the details on that one. Bill Clinton's golden boy, bye-bye, apparently. FEMA, well, they're in a lot of trouble. 4 FEMA employees are being fired over that $59 million payment that was just made to some fancy-schmancy New York City hotels to house illegals. Believe it or not. And then Trump is calling out Letitia James in a really strong way, and he's joined by Captain America for that matter.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one.
Next door. So Letitia is not that smart.
We don't want to talk about
including
that.
Pam Bondi, as you heard, Steve Bannon, right out in California. Forget about them. No, we're going to get the money to the luxury hotels. The mayor of New York said, I'm going to get rid of these vouchers. They were giving them like cards for a lot of money. It was like $350. I'm still standing strong. And I actually think it has something to do with how I take care of myself, which means sign up for 76 report. If you're a serious about this, just the other day, Rob Horton, and he had a theory, which is kind of interesting. I'll share with you. His theory was that they need to do what Kay Nelson. I did, eventually have the ability to not do my own thing, which is what we're doing right here. Does. Because Fox is just in it to continue profiting off of you. I mean, they're capitalists. We're all capitalists, like now, like it's a business. Fox has not been able to figure this business out, so now they're going to these independents. And the concern, I think, dare I say, is that you run the risk that independents may not be so independent at some point. In other words, if you're working,
Facts.
But
the fact of that is that George Stephanopoulos had to leave AB, especially after that $6 trillion payout to Trump. Trump won lawsuits against CBS and ABC. Let me see, do I got time for one more? Because I got to get dressed. Well, I just got to throw on something. I ain't about to get dressed. Yeah, I'm going to do one more. And Disney Captain America bomb. The movie selling.
Captain America. Do you know that? The Avengers, Captain America, kind of storied franchise, kind of a big deal. Well, they just came out with their newest box office news, and guess what? Captain America bombed at the box office first night out. Not such a good showing, shall we say? But it is the DEI Captain America. This is kind of cosmic book news. Brave New World, third box office, underperforming with 12 million in receipts. So
that is so low. That is so low. Disney just fell in all the way. They bombed with Cinderella, all that woke shit. People is not into that, and they keep losing money. Just keep losing money. Here we go, NBC.
Wow, mad at him. They used to not be mad at him. They used to love him, kissing his dirty toenails. But now somehow, because he's associated with Trump, he's now Hitler. He's now the worst man to ever live.
The taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units.
I would venture to say that the producers over at the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC were fully aware of the dates involved on this.
Facts. That was under Biden.
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk.
Biden did. Biden.
I got a question for you. Within the same day, so you have a peace of mind right now. I think he should have took over Tucker's spot when he left. Jesse Waters is my favorite. He's the smartest.
I like Jesse Waters.
On the lies of the lunacy of the Democrats, including Rachel Maddow's, she should get sued over this, Rachel Maddow's lies about Donald Trump. Now, let me just say this before I get to Anna Kasparian. Even if this was a deal, how would this be a bad deal if an American company, American-made, right in Austin, Texas, is creating armored vehicles for the United States government with the greatest technology that we know of so far? The same person sending rockets to space and having satellites in the atmosphere and outer space.
Anyway, Rachel Maddow lied because those contracts was approved by under the Biden administration. I think I can do one more. I got to do YNW Melly. I got too much on him. I'm going to do him. This
has just dropped its DEI fund. That's a big deal, right? But it kind of has to now because DEI is actually against the law. I mean, you can't actually just give somebody a job just because of the color of their. That actually is against the law. You see, that's called discrimination. And so Trump was like, no more. Okay, we're getting rid of this. And I think they're going to have a little problem with, that one show called The View on ABC. Brandon Carr
He's the new head of the FCC. He's not messing around. He's already sent Bob Iger. No, and they have this woman, Goldberg, who's a bit of an issue and has spread all kinds of lies and serious propaganda on The View daily. I mean, the whole lot of them are just a disaster, but there's one in particular that seems to be trying to keep her mouth shut lately. But remember when she said this?
I'm going to be on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Who says it? Tell you. I'm going to put you people away. I'm going to take all the journalists. I'm going to take all the gay folks. I'm going to move you all around and disappear you. If it's the country you want, you know who to vote for. If that's not the country you want, you have to make a decision.
Well, guess what? People made a decision. They voted for Donald Trump. And he won big, okay? It's amazing when you think about it because they had all the media in their back pocket, right? Every single one of these groups. They had
Okay, I'm about to get dressed. I'm gonna
they had paying them too.
Oh shit. Damn.
They were paying AP.
A bit of a distraction that is preventing us from getting important things done. Now, none of that's to say that truth isn't important. The truth is the search for the truth is at the core of some of our greatest human achievements. It can animate and inspire us to do, learn, and create great things. But I think in our messy human hearts, we also know that this is something of a fickle mistress. And that the beauty
That's the problem with the legacy media. They don't tell the truth and they are losing subscription. I don't even watch them no more.
Definitely acute over the last 4 years. Like, why are they doing this? This was their livelihood, right? They can't survive.
Anyway, FCC, Bob Iger told the Spew to get their act together and stop talking about Trump so much. And I think that's it. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I think I'm gonna do oh shoot, I'm gonna do this one.
NBC is in the hot seat. You know why NBC is in the hot seat? They were a little too over their skis with the DEI stuff. I mean, they knew it too, right? So they're kind of in violation of
yep. I gotta just stop. I'll be right back.
And that's spin off that other network, Msnbc.
You could all be fired a year from now. Whenever this happens, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what is going to happen because you, yes, may all be out of a job. You see, it's come about because, again, Brennan Carr is looking at all of these networks. They have just announced an investigation into NBC, Comcast, NBC Universal because of DEI practices. In fact, they're writing here on Tuesday, Brennan Carr told Comcast asked the FCC's Enforcement Bureau to investigate the company and its NBC Universal unit for not complying with FCC regulations. In other words, they've been promoting DEI in a way that they believe that the FCC does not comply with DEI, or rather FCC regulations constantly. No. For decades, our company has been built on a foundation of integrity and respect for all of our employees and customers. Well, it would explain why they're spinning off that cable network that has people on it that, well, let's just say, have championed a little too much DEI and continue to champion it. I'm not going to vouch Joy Reid and others.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P word hats, doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save Democracy Coalition.
And you see, Joy Reid was canceled.
Among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the splat and prioritize black men. and prioritize Black communities, Black businesses, and that, and the Black spaces, but save America, save the Democratic Party.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Y'all have a good day. I got to go to work.